Friday, y'all. It's your favorite trainer with a belt buckle. Today, we're going to go over the needs analysis for a basketball player in a program. 4 weeks to help you improve your vertical jump. We've had a lot of people reach out hoping to improve and help their clients with athletic capabilities. And we teach personal trainers at Show Up Fitness. We can help you become a trainer. We can help you become a strength coach. Whatever it is, all you got to do is show up. So let's take a look at this program. We're going to start off by looking at the Nsca needs analysis. So in class, we have slides that we go over Monday through Friday, live just like this. We get into shoulder anatomy, hip anatomy, and then we do ACSM, which is the American College of Sports Medicine, the risk stratifications, Nsca, and we can get anyone to pass an ASM CPT over 1,000 people. It's just a piece of paper. Get it, move on, and gain experience under proper supervision. That's how you're going to be successful. So when you design a program, especially for an athlete, you need to go through the needs analysis. So what does the client, the athlete need? So you got to take a look at the muscle used, the muscle's actions, the common injuries, and then bioenergetics. So for a basketball player, we're gonna have the glutes, got 3 glute muscles, max, med, min, quads, got the lateral, vastus lateralis, medialis, rectus femoris, and then vastus intermedius, hamstrings, got the semis on the medial part, the bicep femoris and the lateral. Calves, you got 5 muscles down there. You got the gastroc soleus, the peroneals, a couple there, and then you have the anterior and posterior tib. And then you have 3 adductor muscles, magnus, longus, and brevis in your core. Those are the main muscles that we're going to focus on for a basketball player. Now, upper body strength is important, and you'll notice in the programming we will incorporate it, but we focus a lot more on lower body. So the actions are going to be the hip, primarily extension, adduction. The knee, you'll have extension and flexion. And then you'll have rotation. Primarily want to focus more on unilateral. A lot of coaches may do like back squats, goblets, leg press, but basketball is a unilateral sport. It's a lot of pivoting. It's frontal plane stability, being able to shuffle laterally. And so I'd like to see more step ups. And then as you progress into the months 2 and 3, which would be more for intermediate and advanced, you get into heavier, loaded Bulgarians and so forth. Common injuries would be obviously at the ankle, knee with ACL, and then the Achilles. Just look throughout the year when there's injuries that popping up, you know, Klay Thompson, you have people like Steph Curry, you heard his hand injuries are common as well, but primarily lower body ones. And then we want to take a look at bioenergetics. So you're looking at about a 60-20-20 ATP-PC, which would be anaerobic, and then you have more aerobic, which would be slow glycolysis and oxidative. So how you break this down, think of it as like workouts. 60% of the workouts when it comes to conditioning should be less than 30 seconds, resting 10 to 20 times that amount of work. And then when you're doing aerobic, which would be maybe 20 to 30% of the time, you want closer to a 1-to-1 ratio. So let's take a look at the most common conditioning drill in basketball. It'd be like a suicide. So it takes you 30 seconds. So you want to rest a good 2 to 3 minutes before you do that again. Now, as you do more sets at the end, maybe you could do one max out and it takes maybe 45 seconds, then you rest 45 and then do that again. But the majority of it should be longer rest periods. That's always important because I can tell a crappy program if the coach or the strength coach has the athletes doing a lot of mile running or aerobic training. It's fine to have them go run a mile for punishment, but to have your athlete as a basketball player focusing on aerobic, which is more fat oxidation, wouldn't be optimal. You want to get more into the less than 45 seconds to 30 seconds of anaerobic training. So let's stop this share and then let's get into the program. All righty, so we have this on our website. All interns get access to these programs as well. Just make sure to shoot me an email and I can help you review. I'm going to go over 2 weeks of this. You don't get the whole thing for free. Come on. Life isn't free. It's not fair. Well, learn this stuff, put in the years like we have, and you understand how to do it yourself. So we're going to have 3 days of weights, 3 days of plyos. Now, how you organize this is going to be on the communication you have with the athlete. So if you just sent this to someone and then you don't follow up, they could get hurt and there could be a lot of chaos because you're looking at this like, what do I do? Ideally, I'd like to see probably 3 or 4 total days of training with 2 or 3 days of rest, and that rest days will probably be playing basketball. So you want to calculate in when they're playing as well, training as well, because some basketball players will play 4 or 5 hours a day. So I'd like to see the conditioning / plyos first, maybe a 2 to 3 hour break. Make sure to eat, get your carbs, replenish that glycogen, and then you can do the weight session later. So notice how we set this up. A couple things. Down here, the rep scheme is going to be 12, 10, 10. So the first set you would do for the step-ups, 12 on the left. Then you'd go into your push-ups, and then you do your planks. You'd rest, and then you go back into your second set of step-ups, add weight, and then push-ups, and then planks, and then go back into the third one, add weight if you can, push-ups and planks. We're going to focus primarily on step-ups, thrusts, goblets, and push-ups for the first month. So with the programming, you're not going to see a bunch of exercises. A shitty strength coach or a trainer that does any program, which is exercise, 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 they don't have a really good foundation. So notice how I'm doing weighted step-ups here, and then on the next day when we work out, we'll also do step-ups, and then the last day we'll also do step-ups. When we look at thrusts, we're doing them here on day 3, and then we're also doing them on day 5. So day 1, you choose. If you want to do plyos, you can do them in the morning, wait 2 to 3 hours, and you get into the workout. So you do circuit 1, and then you do your hip thrust for 12, 10, 10. Let's say you get 135 and 145. You do your chin-ups, side planks, you do it for 3 rounds. And then your last one, you're going to go into your goblets. So notice the bold. That's where we want to set PRs. So I want to see, you said a 10 rep PR at hip thrust. So let's say you get 145. On this day, this is progressive overload, which will be 2 days later. You probably start out on 135, maybe even 145, and then you go to 155 and 165. You're constantly taking yourself out of that comfort zone and increasing the weight. That's progressive overload. So day 1, you do your plyos first if you'd like to, and then you get into your weights. Now, if you do not have at that time, maybe 2 hours to work out, then you do your weights on day 1. Day 2 would be your plyos. Day 3, you'd come back into your weights. So there's 2 options there. You choose as the athlete. So the third day, we're going to do hip thrust 145, incline press, planks. Go back around, rest maybe a minute or so, 155, incline press, planks. By the time you're done with your planks, it's probably been a good 2 to 3 minutes before you get back into your hip thrusts. So do that for 3 rounds, then we're going to go into goblets. Goblets, Aussies, side planks. Do that for 3 rounds, and then let you finish off on your suitcase step-ups, split stance, 1-arm military press, peel off, and a farmer's walk. Here I want to see a challenge. So 3 minutes, how many push-ups can you do? We like to put things in there so you can check and balance the progression. Now, after a month, you better believe that the 3-minute push-up challenge that you do on week 4 is going to be significantly more reps. And so those are things that you can track your success on. I always encourage our athletes and clients to take before and afters because it's good to monitor your success that way. So in day 3, so actually we'll go to day 5. Goblets, landmine press, landmine rotations. That's going to be like that. Weighted step-ups, push-ups, side planks. And then you have hip thrust, chin-ups, and planks. So those are the 3 workouts. Now the 3 vertical days, or sorry, the plyometric days, day 1 would be vertical jumps or box jumps. If you do not have a box, you can just jump up as high as you can, go under a basketball hoop, try to touch the bottom, come back down, jump up, 3 sets of 5. Where people really screw up plyos is they do too many. The ground contacts are 10, 15, 20, or even worse, they're doing it for like 30 or 45 seconds. You just want to hit 5. Think about basketball. That's where SED comes in, specific adaptation to impose demand. You don't see a basketball player jumping up for 30 seconds straight. You don't need to. If we live in LA and Vegas is 3 hours away, why would you drive up to San Francisco and then drive to Las Vegas? It's wasted time. It's the same with training. You're not, it's too much work, too much volume, and you do not need that to optimize. And it could even be too much in the sense you hurt yourself. So you do 5 reps, you rest. 5 reps, you rest. 5 reps, you rest. Now, if you're going to jump on a box, make sure to make it nice and quiet. So the nice thing about our programming, and if you're a trainer watching this or a coach, we will put our links in here. So my client can then click on it, and this is going to pop up. And let's see, hopefully you can see this, but it's then going to go, hey, stop that. You gotta have your ads, right? So Then it goes into, so notice the sound, it's not loud. You're taking away a lot of force production by jumping onto something versus coming down. And if you do come down, that's perfectly all right. Just make sure to absorb the shock. You can go higher, and you can talk about how you can not make a loud sound. So here's another one, half jumps into leg stabilization. This is the second one. So, this would be for a beginner. We're not doing maximal height for the beginner. As you progress into the weeks to come, you would go higher. You're working on that stabilization. Calf jumps, it's one of my favorite ones. This is where I would do a little more than 5 because it's still plyometric, but this is just going to be more of like conditioning for your calves and strengthening your gas shock and your soleus as high as you can. Try not to bend your knees too much. And then you could progress into unilateral ones, and that's what we do in the weeks coming up. So that would be the third exercise, single leg calf raises, and then jump rope for 5 minutes. You can do sets of 1. So that would be the first plyo day. Then you have your second plyo day would be non-consecutive. I wouldn't want to have Monday and Tuesday doing plyos. So best case scenario, athlete comes in on Monday, does the plyos in the morning, comes back 3 hours later, does weights. Tuesday, just plays basketball. Wednesday, they're going to do plyos and then weights. Thursday, just play basketball. Friday, they only want to do weights. That's fine. Saturday, you would do your plyos. And here's the like warm-up routines that we have over here as well. So what are some common injuries that you may see at the ankles? So maybe you want to incorporate some Bosu ball dribbles or something along those lines to help with stability or come on. There we go. Lateral hip strength. So dribbling on here. I have that Bosu ball, right? This would be the one time when I would encourage any type of Bosu ball stuff. You can put it in as a filler. So you'll see the fillers would be where the C's or even a D is. So if you had your weight training, here's day one. You could put a C in there for your ankles if you wanted to. All right, let's take a look at week 2. So weighted step-ups, push-ups. Now our rep scheme is going to be 10, 10, 15. So it's a little different than week 1, but notice the exercises are pretty much the same. I cannot tell you enough how frustrating it is when I see programs and it's just a bunch of exercises. That only shows you're not qualified. We pretty much have the same exact workout from week 1. We're going to do 10 reps. We'll do 10 reps. And the last one, we'll get a little more cardio conditioning almost by doing 15 reps. We're going to rest 2 minutes per set. Do our push-ups. I want to set a PR there. Do our planks, 3 rounds. Go into your hip thrust, chin-ups, side planks, 3 rounds. Go into your goblet slam and press payoff. Notice the difference in the first plyo workout second week is we're just doing 1 extra rep. We did 5 the first week. Now we're doing 6. That's still increasing your volume by almost 10, 15%. I wouldn't want to see 3 sets of 5 and then 3 sets of 10 to 15. Again, with plyos, we want to keep it probably between 5 to 8 reps. Nothing too crazy there. Lateral jumps. So that's going to be like an ice skater variation. And it's not liking me. It's not responding. We're going to pause there. So there's your program. It's perfectly in time for the little pause that we got here. But that's an example of analyzing an athlete, going through the needs analysis, and then designing a program. We have a month here. If you want to buy this program, you can buy it on our website at showupfitness.com. Make sure to check out our internship program. We are virtual, but also in San Diego, West Hollywood, and Santa Monica. Those are 2-month programs, in-person, hands-on. If you're not in Southern California, we will come to you soon. We have weekend seminars, but we are also online. Have a great day, y'all.